In the absence of Supervisor Mathis, I'll call the meeting to order. Would you please rise for the prayer and the salute to the flag.
Lord, we're meeting here tonight to conduct matters of business. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being the source of our guidance tonight. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Need a roll call. Mathis is absent. Krug is present. Tucker?
Present.
Gopal? Here. Kessler?
Here.
Lorraine?
Present.
Reed?
Here.
See, I got you last time, that time, Christine. Okay, in the absence of Supervisor Mathis, we need to appoint a temporary chair. I need a motion, please.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Thank you. The announcement tonight is these meetings are televised and recorded. And so if you want to address the board, you do not have to give your last name if you're worried about that. But please come up to the microphone. And if you really get bored one night and can't sleep, go to Charter Channel 191 and you can watch our meetings. So based on that, we'll go right ahead. The next is approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or subtractions to the agenda tonight? Did you put the release of the employee on there?
No, do you need that?
What, do we need to take action on the firefighter? So should we add that to the?
If there's gonna be a yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's add on the, as action items, the termination of a firefighter. And we'll talk about that when we get there.
So you mean a potential termination?
Okay. The recommended termination, whatever. So I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Support?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Moving right along, we're at the meeting minutes. Are there any additions, subtractions, or corrections of the meeting minutes for January 21st? Hearing none, the meeting minutes stand as approved and as presented. The next is expenditures. Are there any questions about the invoices? If not, I need a motion is in order to approve the expenditures totaling $327,308.10.
So moved. Support?
Roll call, Tom.
Lorraine?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Mathis is absent. Krug?
Yes,
Kessler?
Yes.
Gopal?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes.
Motion carries.
thank you. There are no public hearings tonight. Reports, are there any reports from any of the board committees?
Yeah, just, we did have a fire and police meeting earlier today, just discuss housekeeping issues. No decisions were made. Did have a water line break in station on Bowles, and due to the extremely cold weather, that's been repaired. Again, no
That it?
decisions were made.
Okay. Anybody else? Hey, moving along, there are no official communications tonight. The next is adoption of ordinances. It's the rezoning 19-001 for Vash Investment Group. This is the second reading of the proposed zoning ordinance amendment to rezone property on Fenton Road from AG to C2, which was introduced January 21st. Any additional discussion by the board? Mr. Tucker, anything that you weren't able to?
No, I think we said it all last time.
Is there anyone in the audience that want to address that issue? Okay, pardon me. I need a motion to adopt or a motion to deny a proposed zoning ordinance amendment to parcel 0612-100-013 from AG to C2.
I will move that the board deny rezoning this property on the grounds that the proposed rezoning is inconsistent with the master plan and a potential traffic and safety issues arising as a result of the potential rezoning.
Support.
Anything else? If not, roll call, please.
Krug.
Yes.
Mathis is absent. Kessler.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Tucker. Yes. Lorraine.
Yes.
Motion carries. The ordinance is not adopted.
Thank you. Next is rezoning of R16-003 from Charles Chappelle, parcel 0603 200-014, which is at 11220 Torrey Road from R3 to M2 with conditions. This is also the second reading of the proposed zoning amendment to rezone property on Torrey Road. Any discussion? If not, I need a motion to adopt a proposed zoning ordinance amendment to rezone parcel 0603 200-014 from R3 to M2 with conditions as presented.
I would move that the board rezone this parcel as presented on the grounds that this rezoning is in fact consistent with the new master plan, which provides for mixed uses in this area.
Support.
Roll call, Tom?
Reed.
Yes.
Gopel.
Yes.
Tucker. Yes. Kessler.
Yes.
Lorraine.
Yes.
Krug.
Yes.
Mathis is absent. Motion carries. The ordinance is adopted.
Thank you. There is no unfinished business. That gets us right into the action items for tonight.
You don't have to.
And the first is a request from the Lake Fenton Property Owners Association. They need a resolution from the Township Board supporting the Canada Goose and Mute Swan programs. Is anybody in the audience that wants to address this proposal? Dick, please.
Based on your introduction, I guess I'll just say my name is Dick. I am
Don't even go there, Mr. Brown. How's that?
I am an officer within the Property Owners Association here on Lake Fenton, and we would like these resolutions so adopted they are required to meet the requirements of the DNR to have such things. We did some of these proposals previously, and we're interested in the safety and welfare of our community as far as in our lake residents. And all of these resolutions would be within the speculation and specification, of the state DNR. If there are any questions, I would be glad to answer some.
Mr. Brown, do you have any idea how many members there are to the Lake Fenton Homeowners Association?
Well, all of the residents, in other words, it's not a mandatory association membership. Approximately 50% of the residents are members of the association.
Okay.
I know that because I keep the records.
So out of the 900 and some homes, you're saying about 450 or plus are members?
Yes, sir. In that ballpark. It
do-
varies from year to year.
Do you do anything to, because I'm part of the association.
Yes.
I've never received anything asking me my opinion.
If you look at the bottom of your membership that you turned in, it asks for your opinions and issue right on the bottom line, sir.
Okay. You talk about public safety. Can you explain that? When you talk about geese
Well, there
nest
are.
destruction, I just wanted, for the
Okay.
record, to talk about public safety.
There was an incident, for example, in Cranes Cove during the past year where a resident was physically attacked and his boat was attacked by the mute swans. As you're probably well aware, they are not indicative of the region. Trumpeter swans are indicative of the state of Michigan. Mute swans are not. So even the state is trying to enhance the trumpeter swans, but not to the degradation, if you will, as far as of the mute swans. But anyway, his property was damaged, his boat, his glaze on his motorboat was damaged to the tune of $10,000. And people have been attacked by the swans and some geese when they ride their wave runners. So that's safety from those, in those concepts.
Okay.
Would you talk about the Roundup? We've done nest and egg destruction programs before. I see you're adding a goose Roundup into the recommended list of things to be done. What do you know about that?
What I know about it is that it's been somewhat unsuccessful as far as rounding them up. We had that happen on one of our lakes in the township, and they end up coming back. And in some cases, the state requires, number one, to participate in all three. But they, last I was aware, gave up on trying to transport geese from one area to the other because they come back. They're like homing pigeons, so to speak. But then last year, they stopped the thing because of a bird flu. So they just stopped handling them whatsoever. So that's what I know about them.
We've been provided with some information that indicates that for these roundups, there's a requirement that the swans be euthanized, and it prohibits, and I'll quote to you, rehabilitation or release of captured mute swans is absolutely not allowed. And then it goes on to explain the permissible methods of euthanization, including breaking of the neck.
Well, we have no intention of euthanizing any swans or geese.
So you probably don't want to do the, I don't believe that they require that you do all three. We've done for a number of years just the egg destruction and nest destruction programs without any required
I'm sorry, go ahead.
euthanization. So
I got involved in this, I have every year. It's usually a 6-to-1 vote. And you know who the one is. I don't like the egg and nest destruction, but I researched, I gave you the information, and it says here, and I'll finish reading what Mr. Tucker started. Rehabilitation or release of captured mute swans is absolutely not allowed. The DNR mandates that all captured mute swans be euthanized. Various methods of euthanasia are permitted. Captured swans may be euthanized by a veterinarian at the Wildlife Division Lab in Lansing. It can also be from a carbon dioxide-based inhalation. And what that is, they put them in a secured box on the back of the truck and run the exhaust into that box till they're dead. Also by injection of approved drugs. And then it tells it in nice words, big words, 50 centers, by cervical dislocation, which means breaking the neck. Or if they're in a hurry, according to the regulation, DNR says they, by a single shot to the head with an approved firearm as indicated in the permit. Some permits may authorize lethal shooting of free swimming mute swans as well. Carcasses of euthanized mute swans must be buried, incinerated, or placed in landfill in accordance with federal, state, and local regulations. It just, you know, if you think about getting rid of invasive species, we are the most invasive species to ever come into North America. And a lot of the other animals that we look at, a very simplistic one is the ringneck pheasant is invasive. In Michigan, the wild turkey, the elk. So before, when they did the roundup, they did do their best not to injure or kill them. At least that's what they said. But this comes right out and tells you. So, I mean,
Can I ask where the information came from, Bob?
it's from the DNR website, and that's why I gave you this.
Yeah, I didn't see a URL anywhere, so I couldn't
Yeah.
tell where it came from.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
I'm
I was gonna ask him the same question.
Well, it talks to you, right, I guess down here where it's the DNR, and that's at Grass Lake is where they're, but it's in the DNR.
That, you're telling me you went out to the DNR site and got this?
Yep.
Okay.
So, I mean, you know, I know it probably sounds funny to a lot of people because I hunt, fish for, and chase anything I can do legally, but it just, this just doesn't set well. So, enough said by me. But anything else, Mr. Brown?
No, sir.
Is there anyone else that wants to address the board?
Mr. Brown, I think the last name thing was actually for me. My name's Amy Krug, so Bob is my father, and this is
admit
one
that
of the
on TV?
rare.
She admits it
I admit it on
TV,
television.
On the record?
It is on. It is official.
Okay.
This is one of the few times that my dad and I actually agree on something, which I cannot tell you how rare that actually is.
It's as rare as the mute swan.
It's almost. It's and almost as invasive. But anyways, this came about mostly because of the Tri-County Times article that was written and released this morning. At least that's when I saw it. And I am a Lake Fenton property owner as well. I've actually grown up on the water in Lake Fenton, in Fenton Township my entire life, and I've always very much enjoyed the birds. They are a bit of a nuisance, but if we got rid of everything that was a nuisance, I would propose that we get rid of the wave runners. So, truly, I understand the need to protect individuals and property, and I do not really like the idea of the nest destruction ordinances. I do find those pretty horrific personally, but this next step is just too much. I really think that this is, we're better than this, and I don't think we need to do this. And I think that while there probably are some individuals that really do support this, and I believe that to be true, just in the brief amount of time I've been aware of it and kind of made some friends aware of this on social media, I've had quite a few people that are also property owners on the lake that are quite appalled by this. I know Mr. Tucker had a post recently from a fellow friend of ours on his Facebook page, and maybe some of you others, because I'll be honest, I said contact your board and let them know, because they haven't heard from everyone. So as much as I would, I don't like the nest and egg piece. That's tolerable, but this removal and killing of the swans, I think, is just a step too far. So I would ask that you consider rejecting this ordinance request or this resolution, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board? If not, any questions from the board?
I'd just like to make a comment, if I may, reference what you said, you being a hunter. I'm a hunter also, and I don't find your beliefs inconsistent with most hunters out there. And I think most hunters would take offense to killing for convenience and not for meat harvest, or even trophy. And I just want you to know that I've got your back, that I don't think your decision as a hunter is out of the norm as most hunters.
I appreciate that. Anybody else?
I guess I would have to go on record also on cameras to supporting you in this also. I have always had a problem with the nest and egg. Been a riparian for 34 years of my life. I've never been attacked. I feel as a riparian that I bought my house and my property on the lake to enjoy the waterfowl, the fish, the boats, and courts of...
Don't forget the jet skis.
The jet skis. I was a stand-up jet skier. I mean, my neighbors hated me, but the geese never bothered me. Also, the courts have ruled that there is an assumption of risk, and I guess that we can bite into a hamburger that has an olive, and the courts have, I guess, have sided with the olive, right? That we, when you bite into
the olive pit.
The olive pit.
They've sided with the olive pit. But if you get a piece of glass in there, that's a different story.
That's a different story. Yeah. But when you move on a lake, in my opinion, you should know that there's going to be geese and swans, and they're going to poop in your lawn. So I guess I'm at the end too, so I can let you know how I'm going to vote on it.
Well, I'll be clear. I consistently voted for the egg and nest destruction because I do believe there's a problem. Maybe I shouldn't be as tolerant of that as I am, but that's more palatable to me than this third thing. And Mr. Brown himself said they had no intention of euthanizing, so there's obviously a gap in the information between folks. So I'm perfectly good with the first two resolutions. I will be voting no on the third.
If we're done, we can do them resolution by resolution. And then we'll do what the board has for their pleasure.
Can we separate?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got
There's three different ones. Yeah.
Okay, there are three separate? Okay.
There's actually 3 separate programs.
Okay.
The one is the goose, egg, and nest that we've done, I'll say 10 years or more. Then the next one is the destruction of the swan, egg, and nest. And then the third one is supporting the removal of the swans, and that gets us into what we've been discussing.
So the first is just the goose?
First is goose, egg, and nest destruction.
Then the second is swan?
Egg and nest.
The
Egg
second
and
one
nest.
is doing the same thing for the swans as the goose and egg.
And the third one's actually killing the live geese.
Right.
Or live swans.
Okay,
So,
I'm ready.
Tom, could you read Resolution 2019-03, please?
Yes, just in summary, the resolution 2019-03 supports the application of the Lake Fenton Property Owners Association to participate in the MDNR Canada Goose Egg and Nest Destruction Program for the years 2019 through 2023. And it further resolves the township will not be responsible for any costs incurred for Lake Fenton's participation in the program.
I will move the resolution.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Mathis is absent. Kessler?
Yes.
Krug?
No.
Gopel?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes. Yes.
Lorraine?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you. Next is, would you read for adoption resolution 2019-04?
That was only 5-1, by the way, Bob, this time.
I'm sorry?
It was only 5-1 this time.
Yeah, I'm getting better.
I know.
Okay, Resolution 2019-04, the same preamble or similar preamble as the first one. It supports the application of the Lake Fenton Property Owners Association to participate in the MDNR Mute Swan Egg and Nest Destruction Program for the years 2019 through 2023, and resolves again that the township will not incur any costs.
I'll move the motion.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Gopel?
Yes.
Tucker?
Yes.
Lorraine?
No.
Mathis is absent. Krug?
No.
Reed?
Yes.
Kessler?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution is adopted.
She was even less that time.
You are more persuasive as we go along here.
See how this goes.
I think you're about to see some real magic here, Bob.
Well, it's just the right thing, but resolution 2018-05, Mr. Broker, please.
Okay, this very similar resolution supports the application of the Lake Fenton Property Owners Association to participate in the MDNR Mute Swan Removal Program for the years 2019 through 2023, and resolves that the township would not incur any costs.
I'll move that resolution.
Support.
Any comments? If not, roll call, please.
Kessler?
No.
Krug?
No.
Reed?
No.
Lorraine?
No.
Mathis is absent. Tucker?
No.
Gopel?
No.
Motion fails. Resolution is not adopted.
Okay, thank you very much. We're moving on now to the appointment to Southern Lakes Park and Rec Board of Directors. This opening is a result of Mr. Shoemaker being elected to the county commission. We've already previously had Mr. Kessler reappointed. Is there anyone that wants this position?
I'd be willing to take the position.
Look at you. Is this a knowing, intelligent, and voluntary waiver?
Because no one else is stepping up. But no, I'd be willing to do it and see how things go.
Thank you.
I will give you congratulations or condolences in 6 months. Let me know.
We'll reconvene on that.
Yeah. Okay. Need a motion to approve the appointment of Christine Reed to the Southern Lakes Park and Rec Board of Directors for the term ending December 31st, 2021.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Tucker?
Yes.
Lorraine?
Yes.
Gopel?
Yes.
Kessler?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Mathis is absent. Krug?
Yes.
She's thinking, can I vote on this? I know what she's, or which way should I vote?
I'll ask you in 6 months.
That's right.
Okay, we have the addition. Mr. Gopel, please.
Actually, I would think Mr. Belzer would probably be the one to explain the situation.
This is the firefighter that missed a bunch of runs. And I understand a letter did go out to that individual,
Yes.
and he was advised that the matter will be brought before the board tonight. Like all employee discipline matters, the employee has it's only the employee has the right to request a closed session. So I don't know if that employee's here or not.
I don't believe
so.
he's here, and he wasn't at our meeting tonight yet.
No, not at the police fire meeting.
So the matters before the board, the fire chief has recommended termination of that employee, and the reason for the termination for the fire chief is missing a number of, not meeting the quota of runs.
So there's an established,
This is more or less, if people, the way I take it, if they just quit or don't put a letter in that they're not attending
Right.
anymore, this is more of a housekeeping
Right,
matter,
exactly.
actually.
Because otherwise, they continue to be an employee. It has to be a township board decision to terminate somebody's
so
employment.
that's what we think has happened. They've quit. They've just not gone through
It
formalizing it.
hasn't shown up and I believe out of 500 calls last year, 30 were made, which is well beyond the percent that the chief,
Which is what? What is the, I know there's a requirement. Do we know what it is?
no, it's in the handbook.
I think it's 20.
20%.
20%?
Yeah.
And there were how many runs?
What, 500, so it'd be 100?
So,
And
and he had 30?
Yeah.
So a third of the required?
A third of the 20%, so 7%.
With no excuse or explanation. It's not like he was laid
Right.
off.
Well, but we have a volunteer fire department, so I'm
Yeah.
somewhat less concerned about that. But if we have a rule in place that says you got to participate in,
In the trainings and
yeah,
such.
and he's not participated in the trainings?
No.
So it is a recommendation by
It's a
the
recommendation of the
chief
chief.
and your committee?
Yes, and I'll actually make the motion that on the recommendation of the chief, this gentleman's terminated from the Fenton Township Fire
I
Department.
think we have to say the person's name at some point.
Yeah.
don't we?
Right. And I don't remember what,
Why? You got it in your paperwork?
there were,
Okay.
the name of the
Gregory Taccone.
Okay, say that again?
Taccone, is that the name on the
I will move that
roster?
Gregory Taccone be terminated from the Fenton Township Fire Department due to,
That's the name we have on our roster.
due to unable to fulfill the obligations set in the hiring process.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Lorraine.
Yes.
Mathis is absent. Kessler.
Yes.
Gopel. Yes. Tucker.
Yes.
Krug.
Yes,
Reed.
Yes.
Motion carries.
thank you. Are there any board comments tonight on anything like, did you vote in committee on anything?
Didn't vote, but it was cold. The Committee on Housing and Welfare reports that it was really cold last week. It's better now.
You're getting too much rest, Mr.
The
Tucker.
33715 area code is real.
You're not, is there anybody in the public to get these guys quiet that would like to address the board? Oh, somebody, please. Okay, if not, I will adjourn the meeting at 8:02.
Jack, I'm telling you, Bonnie's the problem. Look at this, 8:02. You know?